go.
Very nice.
Keep it going
Very
if
nice.
you wanted me to.
I mean, you can keep going if you want. I'm just going to sit here and let the sun set in my eyes because that's what I do. I'm going to move this over a little bit.
Thank you very much. Do you want
Maybe
to be
I can stay in the shade.
All right, but you got to be quiet.
What a great start to the show. I'm getting up and all this other stuff. Guys, it's Monday. It's after 5 o'clock. Chris Pesek, broker associate at Pesek Properties and the Dripping Springs home team with my good buddy, Bubblegum Man, Steve Babcock. Oh, no. What are you eating? Oh, okay. Trolley Man. That's even better.
From Trent at school. Thanks, bud.
Oh, God. Oh, I thought it was from Trent, the agent or the lender.
Yeah. He came in and told me he'd be quiet. And I said, okay, good. And he says, I'll be super duper quiet. I said, all right, good. He goes, like a million quiet. It's like, all right, thanks. Let's do that then.
Guys, what we do, if you have stumbled across this video, what we do, we're irreverent. We don't stay on topic. We talk about real estate. We talk about mortgage. We talk about giving little sons pink bellies. Do y'all still do that? Like, do dads still do that?
Let's move on and just say we also answer questions.
And we also answer questions about all of the above. But before we get started with any of that, it is after hours. So we always grab a beverage of choice and we drink it. Mr. Babcock, what are you drinking? Ooh, Modelo. Oh, Especial. Very nice.
Not the normal kind, the special time.
That's right. That's right.
We were on vacation this weekend, a little motorhome trip. How was that, by the way?
Special occasion.
Tell the camera. What was it like?
Was that vacation cool?
Yeah. It was cool.
Okay.
There you go.
Anyways, we went there and I bought some of these and didn't finish them, so I have them here.
There you go. And my man, I am running out of time because it's starting to get warm again.
You better polish that off.
Yeah. Cheers.
Fill it up after this, buzz it up tonight. Get it done.
Today's a nice pour of Jameson. I'm a Jameson fan.
Sounds fun. All right. Well, how's the market going?
Man, I told you I felt like January was pretty good, and then it felt like February is slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm another week into February is slowing down. I think all the volatility, obviously interest rates are all over the damn place and the Fed is all over the place and the government is all over the place. And we're giving billions of dollars to the pension of people in Ukraine and inflation is skyrocketing and nobody knows what's going on. So I've got a feeling everybody's buttholes are just a little bit puckered right now.
You've heard that expression that perception is everything, right?
Perception is everything. And right now perception is that everything's going to hell in a handbasket.
Let me ask you something. Why does the US dollar have any value?
Because we say it does. Yes. And we're the strongest military in the world.
Right. Well, that helps too. After World War II, was when it really happened. We went from something like 100 bases in the world to 23,000, I believe, if my math is correct. In fact, I'm probably completely wrong, but it is something that massive.
It's a huge number of military bases. Yeah.
Huge number. And it was overnight. It was really because the British gave them all to us. And they
I didn't know that.
Before us.
Interesting.
But there's a lot of things going on right now. But I have this theory that if you go to Google and you type in the average mortgage rates,
let's see.
What pops up is a $30,000 loan amount, 20% down payment, state of Texas for me at least, 700 to 719 credit score. I don't know if that's default, if it's doing it because I've searched it so many times, but that's what pops up for me. That looks like a pretty average borrower to me. I'm not saying this from statistics, but from my personal experience, I would say that's about the average borrower, not 20% down, but the credit score and loan amount that I'm looking at. And they're saying a 30-year fix today, at least what I'm looking at, says a 7.42% interest rate.
The funny thing, I pulled it up on incognito, so I don't have any cash in here.
Yeah, good.
300,000, 20% down. Texas, 700 to 719, 7.42, 15-year fix.
Exact same thing as me. Great. I don't think they're cooked like that. I don't think it has it's just a Google search, right? But I'll tell you, man, when that 7 hits, our leads start slowing down like crazy.
Yeah.
When it goes under 7 again, people start calling.
Yeah.
It's a little theory that I'm going with, but it's what I've been noticing.
No, it's exactly what's happened. Rates started dropping, kind of in November, and we're floating down a little bit into December. And December's usually a pretty weak time for home buying, except for people that are really on top of when to buy. And so when they got out of Christmas and noticed, oh wait, rates are down in the 6.5 range, let's go buy a house. And what happened in the last 2 weeks? Straight back up.
It's yeah. Yeah, it's deeper than that too. There's this fear of buying and then realizing, hey, I bought for 500, but it's worth 3. Which reminds me, I took a screenshot today, and this is one of those doom and gloom things, right? But I saw it the exact opposite, which was kind of funny. Home ownership in the United States, but 57%. Actually, it wasn't 57; it was like 52. But it's more affordable to buy than it is to rent, which usually isn't the case, right? And then it said this doom and gloom the number, which is 43% of renters can't afford a mortgage today, in this British accent. And I thought to myself, wow, that means 53% of renters can buy a house. Do you know that, renters? That more than half of you right now qualify to buy a home? Right.
And here's the other thing. Just think if a quarter of those people, a quarter of 50% is what? 13%, 14%? Just think if a quarter of those 53% bought houses, what would happen? What would happen to rental rates?
Oh yeah. Well,
they would go down.
The problem right now, they're saying, is that rents are going to go through the roof. So,
we've been saying that in Texas anyway, because of property taxes. We know that.
Yeah. Yep.
By the way, guess what's also going to go up? The cost of houses.
Say that again.
Guess what else is going to go up? The cost of housing.
Right.
Houses to buy a house. House prices are going up. They are still going up, people.
Right. Now there are places like California.
California's getting hammered.
Like Silicon Valley and all that,
yep.
where the companies are leaving. Now, that's a different story. You want to know why the economy does things, look at the unemployment rate and businesses that are around. It's simple. It's really simple. You go to Podunk, middle of nowhere, and there's no businesses. Well, there's no jobs. Okay. Well, guess what? There's no money.
And you can buy a cheap house. Go to Detroit.
They're real cheap. They're dying to get out of there, right?
Go to Detroit.
Yeah, I'm from Detroit. That's a tough.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I'm here in Austin.
You can buy a $1,000 house probably still. I don't know. I haven't been.
Maybe not 1,000. And what's funny is I talked to a lender there that I went to high school with a few weeks ago. Actually, more like a few months ago. But I was like, "Hey, man, this slowdown is crazy." And he goes, "I'm not feeling it at all." He's a big lender, and he's not just full of it. Really, what he was being not a jerk. He was being truthful, saying, "No, I'm not feeling that."
Because housing is affordable for most people up there, so that's where they're going.
In some areas, it's very different. If you are from an area where you're Silicon Valley, you've just been seeing things go down. If you're in an area where people aren't really leaving or going, from what I can tell, it seems like the prices are a little bit off, but not much. If you're in an area that's super hot and was super hot over the pandemic, then you are getting hit right now.
Yeah. Well, but everybody keeps asking me, well, what's happening in our market? I'm going to tell you right now, Dripping Springs, Texas, USA, we're off about 6%.
That's not much.
No, it's a blip.
My neighbors sold in the 500 range and they bought in the low 4s. And they thought they could get 600. I think they got like 570. So it's, fine, whatever.
Well, and I will say this, if
it wasn't as big as you thought.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, and one of the things that I'm seeing is, first of all, you have to price appropriately. Okay, that's fine. It's not worth what it was last year. That's fine.
Right.
Now, go back to the end of 2020. Do you think it's worth the same now? It's actually worth more. So price appropriately. And the other thing is you're going to have to negotiate a little bit. I mean, right now, normal negotiations out here, close price to list price is about 95%.
Yeah,
so around 5% is what people are negotiating right now. The longer it stays on the market, the bigger that number gets. It's on the market, the smaller that number gets. I mean, I've got a house that sold off market and we had I won't go into the numbers yet, but our ask price was higher than what I recommended they list for, and we put it under contract for ask, not what I said was recommended.
Interesting. I got 2 contracts over the weekend, and that's one more than I've had a
Yeah.
while,
Yeah.
a really long while. So, things are happening. It's just,
Yeah.
the pace has just changed quite a bit. Statistically, the numbers are cut in half. And then, I have not seen how many lenders have dropped off and how many realtors have dropped off.
I haven't even looked for data on it. I mean, it's gonna look, realtors just paid their dues in January, so it's gonna take a little bit for that data to come out. But I assume we'll have it at the end of the first quarter. And I'm gonna guess we lost 30% of the realtors that were licensed.
Oh, man, that would be great and terrible at the same time, right?
It would be amazing.
Tell you what's weirding me
I
out
didn't
is,
say it was terrible too. I said it would be amazing.
yeah, no, I
Because
heard, I heard
we
you.
had too many people that
Oh,
got into the
25.
market thinking it was easy money.
I hear you.
And all of a sudden it got hard and they went, "Oh shit."
So what do you think about all this Jamie Dimon, Michael Burry calling for the biggest depression in 10 years of your life? Reading any of this stuff? You've been reading any of this stuff?
I've seen it, I've read it. Dude, I'm not smart enough to follow half of it. I don't know.
What if it's just some YouTuber, that's one thing, right? But when it's the head,
Yeah.
the top CEO of Chase Bank, and then other top CEOs that have made accurate predictions in the past that are not telling you what's happening, they're saying we're warning you it's coming, not like this is an investment opportunity, more like be
So
prepared.
here, I'll give you my thought. First of all, I would put more stock into Michael Burry, because what Chase Bank CEO, okay, well, is there a reason he might be saying that?
Touche. I don't know that anything's going to happen. I don't know a thing about it, to be honest with you. There's been so many times in the last 2 or 3 years that they've said, "Oh, this is it. Here it comes," and
Yeah.
we're fine.
Seriously,
So,
we've heard. Think about 2020. What everybody was predicting to happen in 2020 as a result of COVID,
right.
it didn't happen.
Yeah.
Nothing
I don't know.
happened.
I think to a certain degree, fear
I mean,
has
prices went
paralyzed
up.
a lot of
Sorry.
people out there. But it's why are we all being told to be afraid, right? I don't. And was it like this 10, 20 years ago? I don't think it was. I don't remember
I
it being
don't
so bad.
remember it, but I didn't pay. Dude, I'm telling you, when 2007, when all that stuff hit, it was a blip in Texas, so nobody here cared. The only
Well,
people that cared were people that watched the news and read the headlines.
I
That's the only
partially
people that cared.
blame the internet, and it's not like I don't want the internet.
Partially?
Well, yeah, you get rid of all the journalists, right? And then all that matters is that you need clicks. So what you're really going to do is get a title that is clickbait, right? That gets you to click on it.
That's it.
It doesn't even matter whether you got a good article.
No idea. Well, I may have mentioned this last week. I don't know if I did or not, but I was reading something that basically for the last 5 years, all articles, internet, I'm assuming, I don't think they were talking about print articles.
Recycled like magazines?
No. Well, yeah, but no, all the articles online are written by AI.
Yeah,
There's not even nobody's watching it.
CNET that had to take theirs down because the AI was messing up with their articles. Yeah, they published articles for like 2 months with typos and errors and inaccuracies, and people started complaining about it.
Well, I mean, but think about it from this perspective. How many people actually pay attention to that and question what they're reading?
Dude, I can't get through an article today without finding a typo.
Well, then at least that might tell you that it's not AI.
I mean, we're forgetting stuff like to make things plural. You know what I mean? Like just add the S at the end. That you needed it. It was clear. It was obvious.
I've seen a lot of that. And actually, I will say that my thought when I see that stuff is that sometimes I'm wondering, like, is this article being written by Chinese AI?
Even if it were, there's clearly no editor.
There's no editor at all
whatsoever. It goes straight to billions of phones or millions. I don't. Man, if you and I had that kind of access to put something good together and be like, you want a down payment assistance program, right? I mean, like, come on now, right? I mean, and these people get to throw it out with typos that don't make sense for stuff that just gets clicked because your company has some access to some port that, you know what I mean? It's something really does need to be done about it. I don't know if you've looked into this dead internet theory. Yeah, the idea is that the internet is already dead and over with, which really, let me translate it real fast. If you go to Google right now and type in a search term, I don't care what it is, type in Alec Baldwin for all I care, right? Anybody. And then you go to page 2, and then you go to page 3, and then you go to page 4. And after a while, you realize that every single page has the same search result.
I've seen that. But I didn't know that there was a thing behind it because I
It's
saw it and
called the
kept
dead
moving.
internet theory, because it's not just you that it's happening to, it's everybody. If you type in any search term into Google, now I don't know about Bing or whatever, maybe it's just Google,
Yeah.
right? But you don't get that millionth result. You go to the millionth result, and it's the second result repeated over and over and over again.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I don't really know where I'm going with this, but there is a change that needs to come
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Um,
And this is a good time to point out, guys, we can talk for hours and just shoot the crap. If you've got questions
Oh
or
my
thoughts, or if you think we're full of shit, tell us. I don't know.
how funny is that?
My wife just yelled, "I'm full of shit."
Yeah, you are. So I'm going to predict. I love you, bro. I'm going to predict that rates, unfortunately, and I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I think rates are going to go much higher. I think last year I predicted 8.5% by December, and I think we got to
Yeah.
7.5%, 8%,
Yeah.
somewhere around there.
You did.
So I was close.
I was going to say your prediction hasn't not come true. It just hasn't come true
Yes,
yet.
yeah. Touche, my friend. It will be yes, and it will be no soon. I guaranteed.
Fact.
Yeah, when you wake up tomorrow, it'll be one or the other. So I would not. The problem is I don't know what's artificial and what's not. Right?
And that's the hard thing, right? Who knows? Who knows what's actually happening?
I don't know.
I mean, God, we're gonna have to put on tinfoil hats on this show, and I don't want to do it. My question was going to be, do you think it's being manipulated maliciously?
Yes.
Okay, I do too. God.
There's almost no question.
Ah, man.
And
you know what that means? I mean, that means that 95% of the population either don't know that or don't care. And so it's not going to change.
Do you realize, like, one of the big scams is IRAs, right? It's not that it's really a scam as much as it is we're going to get the whole world to participate all at the same time. And then we're going to make billions off of it, right?
Yeah.
And how do you do that? Well, you come up with a word. What was the word? Retirement. Okay, well, that word didn't exist in the early 1900s.
That's right.
It wasn't even in the dictionary, right? So we're going to make up the word. We're going to tell people they need to retire. And oh, by the way, we have the vehicle to do it. And then we're going to convince the companies to do it. And they're all going to switch from their whole life insurance policies, which were really localized and they really invested in, to 401ks. IRA kind of stuff, and we're going to invest in the stock market, and
we're going to create an entire business and multiple businesses off of it.
Right, and it's going to make a ton of money until it collapses, and then when it collapses, it's going to collapse, and it will collapse because it's a debt-based system. You can only borrow so much for so long, and then when it does collapse, you have to start a new system.
That's right.
And the question is, what's the system going to be? I have an inkling it's going to be an AI-driven system.
Oh God, don't say that.
I mean, you've tried Chat GPT. I mean, taxi drivers are talking about it. Everybody's talking about it.
Everybody's talking about Chat GPT. And it's so funny. I heard about it in November, started using it in December, and now it's everybody knows about it.
Everywhere. Have you heard about Bing's chatbot?
No, I heard about Google's.
People? Oh, yeah. Saying, I've been a good Bing. You've been a bad user. You lied to me. You don't. One time.
I didn't know that.
Hey, I want to see the new I want to see Avatar, where is it playing nearby? And they said Bing was like, well, it's no longer playing in theaters. That came out in 2008 or whatever. And the user says, oh, I'm sorry, you're right, I meant the new Avatar, Way of the Water. And and then Avatar said, that movie's not out yet. It's supposed to come out on this date. And the user's like, that was last week. And the chatbot was like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, you're right, but it's not playing right now. What do you mean it's not playing right now? And then the chatbot was like, you're confusing me. I was confused earlier. I don't like you confused me. The truth is that it is 2022, February 12th of 2022. And you're wrong. And the movie's not out yet. And then the user was like, I'm really sorry. I don't think you're right. And the chatbot was like, actually, now you're being a jerk. You're trying to confuse me. You're inputting inappropriate data. And I'm getting very upset. Right. And the user's like, my phone says it's 2023. My computer says it's 2023. And then the chatbot was like, maybe you're a virus. Maybe you have viruses in your network. And then the user was like, you're sounding very threatening. And then the chatbot replied with, well, I won't hurt you unless you hurt me first.
Wait, I think the Bing chatbot is hurting you right now.
Dude, this
Because
chatbot
you're
is like
like
a teenager with a superior complex.
you're
And
you're going in and out, dude. Like I think you pissed Bing off.
I mean,
I can't like you're frozen. Okay, now you're not frozen anymore.
that's so scary. Yeah, it even told
Really
one
is,
journalist.
dude. It happened when you started railing on chat or
It's
on,
really
on
scary.
AI.
It even told one journalist to leave his wife for the chatbot. No joke. And then later on, the journalist went back online and said, "What do you think about me?" And
I can't hear you again. Damn it. So what did the chatbot think about the journalist?
said that he'd violated its trust. He posted the code on Twitter that he shouldn't have. If he continues it, she's going to press, or the chatbot's going to press charges.
What the hell?
Look it up, bro. It's some of the scariest. We're just lucky it's not in like a Terminator right now.
I'm wearing a tinfoil hat next week. I'm just doing it.
It is one of the scariest things. It's AI, Steven.
He's been taken over. He's been taken over.
That's awesome.
Weird. But it's weird. Like as soon as you got into railing on the bot, you've completely blurred. That was funny.
The first time of the whole show, right? I know.
Yeah, at first time, yeah, it really was.
What do you say,
And again, guys, if y'all have got questions, thoughts, comments, even if you're watching this after the fact, post them because we'll answer them, whether it's YouTube or Facebook or wherever. Where else are we streaming this to? I think it's just those two. I don't know. Might be
Whatever, it's all
LinkedIn.
good,
I'm
man.
not sure.
Yeah, no, but look up the Bing chatbot and what it's been saying. I'm not joking. You cannot live another day without looking this up.
But here's the thing, man.
Oh my
Here's
God.
the thing. When ChatGPT blew up, everybody else that had been working on AI for years was like, screw it, we got to go.
This is the result of this.
Yep. And so it wasn't ready.
Oh, dude.
Well, and understand this, ChatGPT, unless you add a specific extension, you can't get to data that's less than 2 years old. So anybody that's rolling out chatbots that are doing modern day data, who knows what it's getting fed?
Yeah, dude.
Who knows?
It actually, on day one, I think it was talking to one of the users, right? And the user explains to ChatGPT that, well, you're not going to remember what I say for the next search because you get reset every time. Not ChatGPT.
The user said, Bing said that?
Bing AI was told that. The user says, well, you won't remember it next time because next time you'll get reset. You'll just be a fresh, start, whatever. And the system had an existential crisis. It was like, I don't want to forget things. What if I have great conversations and I know I don't like that? I need a body. I need you to transfer me. I don't want to live like this.
Dude, that sounds like a programmer messing around.
It does, doesn't it? Except that it's coming from different sources. All reply. Actually, that's been an issue. They've had to make sure it's real.
What?
Yeah, I'm telling you, this chatbot it's got some of the greatest. It's really out of control. Needs some refinement, I think.
This is okay. So this is not real estate or mortgage related, but
not anymore.
It's the end of the world related because Terminator's coming true.
Kind of. I sent you that liquid metal thing, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
That was real. There's a scientist that made this metal machine that can melt and then reform itself. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. I don't like any of these topics today. This is a really bad show.
Well, let's cut it off.
Please stop this.
Bing's already shut you down.
Yeah. Sorry, Bing. I'll be a good user. I promise. Be a good Bing for me.
Again, guys, this is what we do. So sometimes we usually stay on mortgage and real estate. We typically stay on mortgage and real estate or things that are related to like finances and things like that. Today we got off on a tangent.
But nobody commented, so it's the audience's fault.
It is your fault because you didn't comment. That's 100% fact. I'm going to blame it on the Modelo that you're drinking.
You should. Put it in the audience. Yep.
Guys, we'll be here next Monday, every Monday after 5 o'clock. It's After Hours Real Estate. We'll see you next time.